The Honorable Maimane.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Madams, honorable members, Bagaetsu Dumela. Let me firstly send my deepest condolences to Minister Chabane's family and the African National Congress for their loss. We mourn his passing and hope that his family will soon find peace during these trying times. Honorable members, today is not a pleasant day. Nobody wants South Africa to succeed as much as we do. Every member of this House wants our country to be a place of prosperity and hope for every citizen. We all want opportunities to be extended to those denied them in the past. And we all want a president we can believe in, somebody with the commitment and the vision to take us forward. Now, honorable members, we had that in President Nelson Mandela. When Madiba was president, life was not perfect. But he gave us hope. He gave us the belief that we were moving in the right direction. He respected and upheld the Constitution and placed the needs of the people before the needs of the party. He gave us a glimpse of what a non-racial and a united South Africa would look like. He was a selfless leader who embodied the democratic dream. But the light of that dream has since faded, as the ANC has become a party that places the needs of one man above those who elected them to power. On the day of his inauguration in 2009, President Zuma made a commitment to South Africans to service of our nation with dignity, commitment, discipline, integrity, hard work, and passion. Yet in the 6 years that President Zuma has presided over our country, the dream of President Nelson Mandela has been all but destroyed, and the integrity of the office of the president decimated. Madam Speaker, the vote before us today is not only one of confidence, it is one of conscience. We cannot in good conscience allow the needs of millions of South Africans to be superseded by the agenda of one man while we look on in silence. For too long, the members on my right have turned a blind eye to the distraction of our democracy being perpetrated by the president and his project of state capture on the grandest scale. It's on a day like this that I wish we weren't constrained by the straitjacket of our party system. Because I know that many of you on this side will vote against your conscience today. You will vote to keep a man in office who's doing everything possible to evade the 783 counts of fraud, corruption, and racketeering. You will vote for a thief, a man who stole the people's money to build his 246 million rand home, while millions of South Africans go to bed hungry.
And yes, the Chief Whip, Honorable Leader of the Opposition, could you please take your seat?
Can you pause my time, Honorable Speaker?
Yes, sure. Let's pause the time of the Honorable Member.
Honorable Speaker.
Sorry, Chief Whip, just put the 3 minutes back.
Honorable
Chief Whip.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Maimane knows that the President has never been judged by any court to be a thief. He has no right to call him a thief. He must withdraw now.
Honorable Maimane.
Madam Speaker.
What is the issue, Honorable Steenhuisen?
Madam Speaker, the Constitutional Court of this country has ruled that it is correct that the President can be called a thief.
No, Honorable Steenhuisen.
And it is fair comment.
Honorable Steenhuisen, can I say the following to the Honorable, the Leader of the Opposition? Honorable Member, you know that it is unparliamentary to call a member who is not even in this House a thief. Can you please either bring that matter as a substantive motion or withdraw?
Madam Speaker.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
I'm talking to the honorable, the member of the leader of the opposition at the present moment. Can I finish with the leader of the opposition? Honorable Maimane?
Honorable Chair,
No, Honorable
on the
Ndlozi.
matter of your
Honorable
ruling,
Ndlozi, please take your seat.
before you implement your
No,
ruling, Chair,
Honorable
we're calling a
Ndlozi.
point of order.
Honorable Ndlozi, I am addressing the honorable, the leader of the opposition.
But we
Could
want to
you
address
take your, no, take your
being
seat.
Honorable
Take your seat,
Speaker.
Honorable Ndlozi, take your seat. Honorable Maimane?
Honorable Speaker, if the Constitutional Court gives me permission to be able to say that, why are we limiting those rights here in this House?
Honorable Maimane, I have not seen anything from the Constitutional
Madam
Court
Speaker.
addressed to this House
Madam
on
Speaker.
that matter.
Madam Speaker,
Honorable Maimane, we need the matter as a substantive motion.
Madam Speaker, this
We
is a-
have not been addressed by the Constitutional Court. This House has not been addressed, not as a letter, not as any way of communication. So until we have that, we need you to stick by the rules of the House, and that is, it is unparliamentary. You are
Madam
not
Speaker.
losing time. You are not losing time. That time is going to be given back to you. That much I can make sure. So please, Honorable Musi, Maimane, bring this matter as a substantive motion, or you stay off anything unparliamentary.
point of order, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Steenhuisen?
Madam Speaker, the nature of the motion before us today is such that it is a substantive motion. It's required motivation. It's a constitutional motion, and therefore the Honourable Maimane is allowed to make these comments.
Honorable Steenhuisen, I need Honorable Maimane to steer off any unparliamentary language.
On a point of order, Chair.
What is your point of,
Yes, Chair. I'm
point of
rising
order?
on Rule 70, which
Yes.
provides, Honorable Speaker, that seeing that your ruling says you have not been addressed by the Constitutional Court, you have not received the ruling. Many of us have received it because it's a very old ruling by now. I think that you can postpone this matter of your ruling because we can't be seen as this House to undermine the Constitutional Court. It has rules.
Honorable
And
Ndlozi,
since, Honorable Speaker, you have
take
not
your
seen
seat.
it, you can
The
implement
issues-
Rule 70 because we are allowed. It is not unparliamentary to say that the President or anybody
Honorable
is a
Ndlozi,
thief, particularly in a substantial
This
motion.
House has its own rules, orders, and internal
But we are not above the
arrangements.
Constitutional Court, Honorable
And
Speaker.
Honorable Ndlozi, take your seat. We are not run by any court, especially when it has not. This House is run by its own rules and internal arrangements.
Madam Speaker, does this mean we ignore all judgments from courts from now on?
Honorable
The court has
Waters,
ruled.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Waters, we are run by our own rules. We are not run by another
Honorable
arm.
Speaker,
Speaker.
We are not run by another arm.
Honorable Speaker, may I address you?
No, because I've not recognized you for a start.
I'm
Honorable.
asking for recognition, Madam.
No, but you are on your feet already. Honorable JJ, take your seat. And I'm asking everybody else to take a seat until I start recognizing people. Then only they rise. Honorable Malema.
Honorable Speaker, I think that you are wrong because just to remind you that these members here of the EFF, according to your rules, were suspended. And the court ruled that their suspension must be uplifted. That's why they are here. And you couldn't defy that judgment and say we are governed by our rules. So consistency is very important. So I just gave you an example that relates exactly to what you just said. So legislature here is not above the Constitutional Court, because these rules must be consistent with the Constitution. And therefore, if they are not consistent with the Constitution, they will never be recognized by those who support the Constitution. A Constitutional Court has made a ruling, Honorable Speaker, and it cannot be correct to call a president a thief outside and be wrong to call a president in Parliament where you must have an absolute freedom of speech. So that is inconsistent, Honorable Speaker. Please protect the Constitution more than even these rules, because the Constitution is above these rules.
Honorable Malema, let me first correct you on the case relating to yourselves. That was an interim order. The main issue is still to be addressed. That's number one. Number two, Honorable Malema. Number two, this House has rules, and it follows those rules and the laws that create it and according to which it runs. And yes, constitutional principles and what we ourselves actually formulated as a constitution. But it does not create chaos whereby we don't know what we are following in the House. So right now we are going to proceed according to the rules that determine what is parliamentary and what is not parliamentary. And I really request Honorable Maimane to withdraw the question of calling the president a thief, and so that we can proceed with the debate on the motion. Honorable Maimane, please proceed.
Madam Speaker, may I address you, please?
Honorable Maimane, I really appeal to you because we are here to debate your motion, that you don't sabotage us being able to proceed with this business of debating the motion you have put on the order paper. And so allowing us to debate it according to our rules. We can't sabotage ourselves every time we come together. Please, Honorable Maimane, please proceed.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Steenhuisen, I really would like to proceed with the business of debating the Honorable Leader of the Opposition's motion on the order paper.
Madam Speaker, I respect that, and I also want to proceed with the motion. But it's very important because things have been said in this House today that are going to impact like dominoes going forward. And that is particularly the competence of the Constitutional Court. And I think it's important that we understand that Section 167(5) of the Constitution says very clearly that the Constitutional Court, not Parliament, makes the final decision whether an act of Parliament, a provincial act, or conduct of the President is constitutional and must conform. This House is subordinate to the rulings of the Constitutional Court. And I think we need to establish that very clearly, otherwise we are going to have problems going forward. The second thing I'd like you to make a ruling, Madam Speaker, is whether the constitutional motion before us today is a substantive motion or not, because it's my understanding that a motion of this nature has to be substantive in nature in terms of the requirements of the Constitution, which is why the motion requires members to give a motivation when that motion is submitted.
It is a rule of debate, it's still in force, it's still valid. And Honorable Maimane, the honours on him, whether to adhere to the rules of this House or not. It's as simple as that, Honourable Speaker. I humbly submit.
Honorable Maimane.
Honorable Speaker, I'll withdraw for this purpose because...
Thank you.
It's a sad day that your rights can be protected outside this house but cannot be protected inside this house. But what is even more sad, honorable members, is that you will vote for a man who is willing to break democratic institutions so that he can escape accountability. You will vote for a man and what it seems like today, a party who believe that the ANC is above the Constitution. A man who believes that he is a law unto himself. In fact, more seriously, when the public protector exposed him, he dismissed her simply as an ombudsman and failed to abide by her remedial action. Honorable members, if the president disobeys the public protector, then none of us must obey the public protector, and no South African must as well. When the scorpions, in fact, got too close, they were crushed and replaced by the hawks. And when it looks like the hawks were about to swoop, they were also had their wings clipped. When SARS started investigating fringe tax benefits for Nkandla, it was subjected to a purge of its executive management. Worse than that, as there's a threat of the ANC losing election grows, the IEC was targeted for capture through the appointment of the President's Special Projects Advisor as Commissioner. Coupled with the plans to turn the SABC from a public broadcaster, we are today from a public broadcaster to a state propaganda machine. We are today witnessing the full attack on the freedom of expression and free and fair elections. Yesterday, we went to court and forced the president that we must reinstate the charges he has successfully evaded for 5 years and has established a timeline that will lead to his prosecution. I can assure you, honorable members, the president will have his day in court if this house is not willing to vote him out today. Honorable members, let's be clear about one thing. The president needs his job in order to avoid prosecution. He needs his job to keep enriching himself and his friends and his family. We've seen how even Zuma destroyed a mine and jobs. We've now seen how children of ANC leaders are awarded tenders to the value of 631 million rands for toilets in the Eastern Cape. We saw how the landing of a Gupta family had a red carpet rolled out for them at Waterkloof. Through all of these scandals, President has denied all knowledge and complicity. Honorable members, I'd like to call President Jacob Zuma, President, I did not know. President Angazi. Because when we asked him about upgrades to his own home at Nkandla, his response was, I did not know. I did not ask for the upgrades. And he did nothing to stop them. When we asked him about his friends, the Guptas landing at Waterkloof, this was the president's response. I did not know, and he did nothing to stop it. When we challenged him about his failure to appear before this house, he said, nobody invited me, yet I hold all the letters here, honorable members, that we've written to both the Speaker and the President saying, when are you coming to this house? But the president stood here and told the people of South Africa, I did not know and therefore did not act. So what exactly does the president know? He seems to have known nothing. In fact, even when Parliament was collapsing in front of his house, he did not act and did nothing. The real tragedy, honorable members, is simply this, that the longer President Jacob Zuma stays on the job, the more South Africans find themselves without a job. South Africa's economic growth for 2014 was a mere 1.4%, down from 1.9%. For 2015, it is projected to be 2%. This is in fact a far cry from the projected 5%, which the NDP requires. While President Zuma has blamed our economic failures on the global climate, sub-Saharan Africa in 2014 averaged 4.5%. Honorable members, when it comes to economic growth, leadership matters, and President Zuma has shown none of it. Since President Zuma assumed office in 2009, the number of unemployed South Africans has grown by 1.4 million people. Our unemployment rate today sits at 36.1%. Over 66% of those are young people. So, honorable members, here's the choice that we have today. You can choose to keep a man in office who steals from the poor. You can choose to keep a man in office who breaks our constitution to protect himself. You can choose to keep a man in office who laughs when parliament is being broken down. Or you can choose to vote with your conscience today. You see, honorable members on this side, if you are unable to vote with your hearts, at least vote with your heads. Because let me remind you, the longer you keep this man in office, the more you show South Africans how the ANC has lost its way. Under President Zuma, your party has dropped over 210,000 votes since 2009. In Gauteng last year, you dropped nearly 10%. So you are losing MPs, we are losing South Africa, but today you are going to vote for President Zuma. In Nelson Mandela Bay, the ANC dropped from 70% to less than 50% last year. So, this is in fact the beauty of our democracy. Every election is a vote of no confidence in President Zuma. And every election we hold shows that the people are losing confidence in the man you insist on propping up as president. So, honorable members, by all means, vote against this motion of no confidence today. Vote against your hearts and vote against your heads. Because know that your children will inherit an economy that is unable to provide them with jobs and support their families. They will look back and ask the question about this day and say, how did you let this thing happen? Know, honorable members, that the pillars of our democracy lie in ruins. They will one day judge you harshly for what you are doing for doing nothing to stop this devastation. And know that the day is coming when the people of this country will vote you out of power.
Honorable Speaker,
Honorable
I
Mulder,
raise on a point of order.
what's the point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I'm sorry to intervene. We've got two members at the back here. They are shouting the same slogan all the time, drugs, drugs, drugs. The one...
Yes, Honorable Mulder, I'm still listening.
The one has just referred to the Honourable Speaker saying, you are high, and I would suggest it's unparliamentary, and I ask you to withdraw that, and if their whips could please ask them to keep quiet and behave.
I don't know who the honorable members are, but I request honorable members in that corner to lower their voices. I still have outstanding business to attend to in relation to that corner.
Honorable Speaker.
There is a female choir almost every day. This side,
Honorable
by Mafu and Mabi. Please.
Honorable Mashabela, please take your seat.
No, we are
Honorable
unable
member.
to hear important inputs by members here because of their noise there.
Can
They
you
are
take your
always
seat?
Singing with discord, backing like a
Can you please take your seat, honorable
No, we
member?
are tired of this choir this side. All right.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Masina, what's the problem?
Is the member prepared to take a question about drugs in his church?
Honorable Maimane, are you prepared to take a question?
No.
He's not. Honorable Sisulu?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just need some clarity. The Honorable Mulder has said that one of the members there says that the Honorable member is high. He is on a platform. He is high above the... So I don't understand what it is that...
No, Honorable Sisulu, please. Take a...
Honorable Speaker, may I address you on a point of order?
What's the point of order, Honorable Mulder?
Honorable Speaker, I know the Honorable Minister is trying to make a joke. It's not funny. No, it's not. Honorable Speaker, a suggestion that the Honorable Member is on drugs while speaking in Parliament is unparliamentary. I suggest that you inquire from that member who said that and ask her to withdraw.
You didn't name a member.
Honourable Speaker, if the member has the guts to say it, I guess the member's got the guts to stand up as well. You.
Is there an honorable member who is ready to rise to own up to having said the honorable member is high? And I would like the honorable member to withdraw that statement.
Honorable Speaker, I did not mention anything about being high. I know nothing about being high. I hear it for the first time.
What do you know?
I know drugs found in my Honorable Maimane's church. It's here. That I know.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you just withdraw that, honorable member? Honorable Mahambe Hlala, can you withdraw your statement, whatever it is about drugs? Just withdraw it, honorable members.
Speaker.
No, sis, please just withdraw. Because you had no reason to be shouting drugs when you are sitting there and the honorable leader of the opposition is speaking.
Speaker, I withdraw saying that drugs were found in Honorable Maimane's church.
Okay.
Thank you.
Honorable Maimane, can you finish off your speech?
Honourable Speaker, this motion is absolutely important. It's important because the people of this
Order, honorable
country
members. We want to hear the end of
have
this.
an opportunity to decide on whether are their lives getting better under President Zuma or getting worse. All I can see is that here's a president who is willing to break every rule to stay out of jail, to build a house for himself at taxpayers' money, and then stand before the people of this country and says he refuses to pay. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, South Africans understand, more importantly, that there is coming a day where they will put a vote of no confidence in the party that will defend a person who is trying to stay away from going to jail. They will vote for a party that fights against corruption. They will choose a party that fights for jobs and fights for opportunities. They will choose a party one day that wants to put power back into the hands of the people of this country. They will vote for the DA, and that day is coming. Let us vote President Zuma out of here. I thank you.